Welcome to my fifth devlog on my current indie-game project, Summit, which is going to be a 2D Metroidvania based on mountain climbing and exploration. So it's been a while since my last update, since I couldn't spend as much time on the project as I wanted to, but I think now is a good time to do an update on the progress I've made over the last weeks. So since my last update, my game has gotten the name Summit, which I will stick with at least for now. And I've also released a little gameplay trailer on my channel in which I've stated a release date for this winter, so 2020-21. And while I can't promise, I'm confident that I can make it. And besides, it's good to have this deadline to help me organize my work. So with that having said, let's see what we've accomplished. In each of my previous devlogs, I presented one new area. This time there are actually multiple new ones. There's the mining village, a small settlement that was once used for the Sapphire people's mining operations and is now abandoned. Besides Pinetown, the main village, this is the second settlement in the game so far. The village directly leads to the mines, which turned out to be a pretty large new area. The mines have also been abandoned, so I was aiming for a dark, haunted atmosphere in contrast to the ice caves, which are bright and shiny. I haven't finished the area's level design yet, but so far the area also features spooky, haunted style enemies and narrow, disorienting, almost labyrinth-like paths. In the mines, the player also first encounters a new tribe, the Granite people. These are the natives of the mountain, and they are a nomadic tribe used to the harsh nature and terrain up there. The other new area is the Mountain Pass, or Via Ferrata, which is supposed to be an alternative route that leads directly to the summit, but is very technically challenging. I'm thinking of making this path optional, to give the player a choice at some point whether to take the traditional easier but longer route, or this harder but shorter route. This late game area features one of the toughest platforming and requires fast and precise grappling hook handling. It also introduces some new gameplay mechanics like this wind mechanic I've just added. Last time I talked about how I added some texture to the tileset since it adds up nicely with my vector graphics style. Now in order to remain consistent, I ended up having to add texture to all other objects with large surfaces as well. In the beginning I was a little skeptical about it, but now I've gotten used to it and I think it adds a lot more depth to the environment if done right. A lot of time was spent fixing bugs and minor issues. As the map is growing in size, I also spent a lot of time making sure everything remains consistent and well connected. It also became harder to avoid creating obvious exploits, especially as soon as the player gets advanced abilities like the grappling hook. A little earlier, I already introduced non-climbable blocks to get a bit more control over the level design. Now the player also can't use the grappling hook on those specific blocks anymore. The grappling hook is still very powerful and gives the player a lot of freedom, but now it is possible to keep the player from skipping huge parts or going to areas that should be unreachable. As part of the map expansion, I also included a bunch of new secret areas, some of which already have interesting content, others are still completely empty but will get something eventually. I think in any exploration game it is just essential to have a lot of these hidden, mysterious places, which not every player is going to see. As a creator you usually want to make sure that every bit of your content will be visited, but actually it is precisely this optionality which makes for a good secret. Alright, so as you've seen, the game is slowly coming together. And as I've stated in the beginning, I'm planning on releasing the game this winter. I'm also currently thinking about what to include in the first public demo, and hopefully there are news on that soon. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.